afternoon, everybody. My name is Peter Letsu, and I'm the Dean of the Cecil C. Humphreys School of Law. It's my pleasure to welcome you to our 2015 commencement and hooding ceremony. Before we begin, I'd just like to ask you to take a moment to please turn off or silence your cell phone. And now, I'd like you to please remain standing for the playing of the national anthem, which will be sung by our very own graduating student, Kimber Ratner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes in bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That's a tough act to follow. Thank you, Kimber. Please be seated, everybody. Welcome, everyone, to this momentous event. An event that acknowledges and celebrates several years of very hard work by the 102 graduating students who are here to receive their academic hood, having completed the requirements for the Juris Doctor degree. Today's graduates include one student who is completing the requirements for the dual JD MBA degree. Additionally, there are 5 students receiving certificates in advocacy, 3 receiving certificates in business law, 5 receiving certificates in health law, and 4 receiving certificates in tax law. We're privileged to have with us on stage today several very distinguished university, law school, and other officials. Most of these individuals will play an active role in today's ceremony. And I have the great honor to recognize the Honorable John Everett Williams, who will be our commencement speaker. Dr. Karen Weather-West, immediately to my left, Provost of the University of Memphis, who will confer the degrees upon our graduates on behalf of the university. And the President of our Law Alumni Chapter, Vicki Hardy-Jones, in the middle, who will also serve as the pronouncer of the graduates' names for our ceremony. I'd also like to recognize Assistant Dean for Admissions, Dr. Sue-Ann McClellan. Where is Dr. McClellan? Out here somewhere. And Director of Diversity, Jacqueline O'Brien, who are serving as co-marshals at today's ceremonies. We appreciate their participation in today's commencement exercises. Many members of our distinguished law faculty are also here today to celebrate this milestone in the lives and careers of their students. I'd like to recognize them. I'll ask each faculty member to stand when I call your name and to remain standing until all faculty members have been introduced. First, Elena Allen.
This year's winner of the Ferris-Mabango Faculty Scholarship Award is Professor Steve Mulroy for his article, Raising the Floor of Company Conduct, Deriving Public Policy from the Constitution in an Employment at Will Arena. Steve, you can talk. Bringing his father, an exceptional singer and musician, to Memphis to perform at our annual Barrister's Ball. I've enjoyed working with Alex this past year, and I'm confident we'll hear many more good things from both Alex and his father in the years ahead. Roxy Rudolph has also been among our law school's most outstanding students. In her own words, she has, and I quote, squeezed every last drop of what Memphis law has to offer. She's a 3-year member of the SBA, and a member of the senior editorial board of our law review, and I can say with absolute confidence that our law school is a much better place for her having been here. Alex will introduce the recipient of the Professor of the Year Award, and after that, Roxy will follow and introduce our Adjunct of the Year. So please join me in welcoming both Alex and Roxy.
Thank you, distinguished guests. Thank you, faculty. And most of all, thank you to the class of 2015. You guys are great. The award for Professor of the Year is presented to one distinguished faculty member who, above all others, best represents what the last 3 years have meant to us. Therefore, it is my pleasure to announce this year's recipient, Linda Ray Black. I have a few more things to say. Professor Black attended the undergrad at the University of Memphis, after which she received a JD from Yale Law School. She spent the better part of 20 years practicing estate planning in New York City before returning to Memphis, where she lives with her husband Steve and acts as a devoted mother to her son, who has been replaced now that he's off at college with two exotic short-haired cats, Dak and Dorinda. They couldn't be here tonight. Many of you probably think about Professor Black as the reason that secure transactions was not only bearable, but almost fun, and in some cases disturbingly fun. For others, she's the reason that the song Changes by David Bowie is just a great way to sing about Tennessee's child custody statutes. For the 127 students and faculty which crammed their way into Wade Auditorium on a Tuesday afternoon to hear Professor Black's research presentation, she is the reason that less people will alienate affections in the state of Mississippi. And for one of you in particular, she is the reason that you will never, ever forget to set your alarm the night before an exam. Josh Bradley. He did make it here tonight, though. My point is that each of us, Professor Black is something different and is uniquely special to each one of us, but to all of us, she is a singular example of what can be accomplished through intelligence, humility, and a persistent smile. She is one of the only people, if not the only person I know who has beat cancer, climbed Mount Olympus twice, and can teach how to perfect a security interest by comparing it to standing in line at a cupcake shop. At the end of the day, or year, as this award suggests, the class of 2015 got it right. We collectively chose to honor an extraordinary woman who, as our professor, taught us to be lawyers, and as our friend, taught us to be ourselves. Her commitment to Memphis law will outlive her in the lives of the students she's inspired. In my mind, she should really be receiving hundreds of these awards because of all the students' lives she's touched. But for tonight, this one award will have to suffice. Congratulations, Professor Black, and thank you for showing us all the way. Please give it up for Professor Linda Ray Black.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hall, and thank you, class. You took a lot of my lines, actually, so hey, what can I say to this class who baked me purple Pimsy cupcakes on my 50th birthday, and who attended in record numbers my faculty research presentation, will never, ever hear grip it and rip it again without thinking of me. And you came to blows almost twice with respect to my SBA auction item. I think Mr. Salich has recovered from that. So what can I say about this class other than this class has personality, this class has strength of character, this class has limitless possibility. Usually we think that faculty equip students, and having taught almost all of you, I hope that I have done that. But the truth is that you guys have equipped me to be a better teacher, to be a better scholar, to be a better person. And for that, I thank you. So congratulations, class of 2015. I am honored to have been your professor. Thank you so much.
I would like to echo all of Alex's thanks for everyone that's here today, especially to our professors who have been leaders and mentors for us throughout the past 3 years. We wish that we could give all of you an award like this because all of you have been deserving of one. But I definitely would echo Alex's sentiment that Professor Black has been an awesome leader for so many of us, as well as the person who I'm proud to introduce today, the candidate for Best Adjunct Professor. The recipient of this award this year is Professor Doug Hollion. Professor Hollion graduated from the University of Pennsylvania in 1992 with his JD. He has been practicing at the Memphis firm Birch, Porter & Johnson since 1994, and he has been a partner since 2000. This year, he received the Best Lawyers Award for Lawyer of the Year in Intellectual Property here in Memphis, and his practice area specialty is in commercial litigation and intellectual property. I personally have had the privilege of having Professor Hollion for both trade secrets and intellectual property, where he was able, either through analyzing the lyrics of Two Live Crew or reminiscing on the glory days of the New Kids on the Block, to miraculously keep a bunch of students entertained even through hours of long evening classes. The best part of presenting this award today is knowing that Professor Hollion is very proud and appreciative to receive it. I can think of no one more deserving of this year's Best Adjunct Professor Award, so congratulations, Professor Hollion.
Thank you, Alex, and thank you, Roxy, and congratulations to Professor Black and Professor Hollion. It's now my privilege to introduce our commencement speaker, the Honorable John Everett Williams. Judge Williams received his Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice from the University of Tennessee at Martin in 1978, and received his law degree from Cumberland School of Law at Samford University in 1981. In addition to his involvement with the mock trial program at Cumberland, Judge Williams was co-chairman of the Cordell Hall Speakers Association. He helped create notable speakers such as then 1980 presidential candidate Ronald Reagan, Dr. Zbigniew Brzezinski, National Security Advisor to President Jimmy Carter during the Iran hostage crisis, Melvin Belli, Roy Cohn, and others to visit the law school. After graduation, Judge Williams had job offers in 25 states and 2 foreign countries, but he returned to his beloved hometown as a solo practitioner. As a lawyer, Judge Williams had the unique experience of trying cases against his father, the District Attorney General, and later trying cases with his father when father and son practiced together at Williams & Williams. While in private practice, Judge Williams was the president of the Carroll County Bar Association and was a member of the Tennessee Bar Association and Tennessee Trial Lawyers Association. In 1998, Governor Don Sundquist appointed him to the Tennessee Court of Criminal Appeals, and Judge Williams has served on this court for nearly 17 years. Judge Williams is the senior member of the Western Section of the Court of Criminal Appeals. He also serves as the commission chair for the nationally recognized Tennessee Lawyers Assistance Program. As one of our state's leading jurists and a West Tennessee native, Judge Williams is a shining example for our graduates. Additionally, his remarks in 2 prior visits to our law school this year, as a speaker at Justice Holly Kirby's investiture last fall, and in his visit with the Tennessee Court of Criminal Appeals last February, his speeches and remarks at these events resonated with our students and left them wanting to hear more as they embark on their legal careers. So please join me in welcoming Judge John Everett Williams.
Thank you, Dean Letsu. I would also like to thank Dr. Weddle West, today's award winners. Congratulations to this distinguished faculty, friends of the graduating class of 2015, mothers, daddies, aunts, uncles, brothers, and sisters, and more especially the class of 2015. You have accomplished much, and now is your day to celebrate. I enjoy my job so much and the people that I work with that whenever a member of my court is in the audience, I like to pause for a moment and just to recognize them. And we have a member of my court today that serves with me on a daily basis from Jackson, Tennessee, who is as happy about being here today as you are, Judge Roger Page. He is a University of Memphis Law School alumnus, and he has a son, Ethan Page, graduating today. I'm very appreciative of the graduation regalia that the law school has provided me. As I was preparing for my speech, I realized that I have been a judge now for 17 years, and I have never purchased a black robe. My courthouses are in Jackson, Nashville, and Knoxville. There are plenty of retired and dead judges' robes that are left in the closets. And I wear one of those. So I am very grateful that the law school saw fit to properly attire me this afternoon. And to quote my most favorite American, Mark Twain, clothes do make the man. Naked people have very little influence in society. Your graduation committee, especially Mr. Alex Hall, posed a great challenge to me when they asked me to be the commencement speaker today. He asked me to make this the most memorable moment in your law school career. With the very direction that you will be going, the many places that you will see, I think he put in a tall order for me. But I have devised a very devilish plan, and with your cooperation and participation, I believe we can at least make this graduation memorable. What do you think of when you think about graduation? Your brain is in default mode to nothing. What I would like for you to do right now is switch that default mode to fantastic. So, whenever you're asked about your graduation this afternoon, tomorrow, next year, or 10 years, your brain will automatically answer, "It was fantastic." Note that by putting your brain in that mode of fantastic, you have already achieved something that 95% of the graduating across the country today will not. I say 95% because I can't speak for Harvard. They had the comedian Mindy Kaling there last year, and who knows what they're going to have there this year. But now that I've got your mind set to automatically say your graduation was fantastic, some may ask why. Well, it's very simple. I give you permission right now, whenever asked. You simply answer, "Why, our speaker was Judge John Everett Williams, and he did blank." You fill it out. This will give you an opportunity to be vivid and creative in your thinking and put these 3 years of learning how to manipulate fact patterns to use. For example, you corporate types, you can say Judge Williams landed a Learjet right on Main Street. He passed out Rolex watches to each one of us because they were last season's, and he said he'd get a new one this one. You criminal attorneys, you can say I rode a Harley Davidson right up on the stage with a bald eagle sitting on one shoulder and a Constitution in the other hand. As for you tax lawyers, well, I guess you could say I recited the entire tax code in the most exciting monotone voice you'd ever heard. The point is, whatever you say, I am going to cooperate. So when I am asked, years from now or next week, about this speech, I will simply grin and say the class of 2015 was very, very special to me. And if you do this and make this graduation fantastic, I will become, in the words of Barry Stinson, on How I Met Your Mother, legend, wait for it, therein. This class is very special to me because we have broke some new ground. We have created some milestones for this law school. I was here and spoke and was proud to the time that Justice Kirby became the first of many that were graduating from this fine institution to serve on the Tennessee Supreme Court. I was the presiding judge the first time the Tennessee Court of Criminal Appeals held oral arguments in this beautiful courtroom. So we do have a historical courtroom. We do have a special bond, and that is why, if I am ever asked about today's speech, I will acknowledge that my speech even include an acoustic version and cover of Katy Perry's greatest hits, if that's what you so desire. But now let me speak to you about something I know about. And that's the practice of law, for after all, I am a country lawyer, and there's one thing you need to know about appellate judges. We are better at sitting and listening than we are standing and speaking. But we'll try to get through this together. Although I had many other opportunities, I've never regretted going back home and becoming a sole practitioner. It was a wonderful time back then to practice law. It was right after the dinosaurs had become extinct. I would work on my IBM Selectric typewriter late into the night. That was one heck of a typewriter, I won't tell you. Might not know anything. If you haven't, well, go by them. Surely there's something in the archives about typewriters. Green books were all we used. Westlaw, LexisNexis. Didn't know anything about that. You hung your shingle out and said to the world, here I am. Let me help you out. Oh, by the way, there is a very small fee for my time and services. But I can unequivocally tell you that I believe the law is one of the highest callings that a person can have. Your ability to influence people and shape society is unlimited. I hope you are proud of the course and career that you have set for yourself. You should go forth fearlessly, knowing that many good men and women have gone forth before you and have done great things, armed with pure education and good ideas, common sense, good judgment, and a desire to do good for other people. When thinking about the practice of law, I'm reminded of the scene from Plato's The Republic, in which Socrates and several others engaged in a conversation about justice. And afternoon, after a festival, Socrates was returning home. He was persuaded, or more appropriately, probably coerced, to come to an acquaintance's home so they could go to an even greater festival that evening, but if you'll recall, their conversation turned to a man's definition, each man's definition of justice. While one man leaves, Socrates and others continue their conversation long into the night, missing this great festival and fun and all of its jocularity. Just as in the time of the Republic,